Okay, good evening, everyone. I am Gambo Alhaji Hassan, who is a nurse, a humanitarian, a public health officer, and GBV specialist now. So I heard about this program from a colleague called Margaret. So I just, when I first saw it, I saw her picture with the flyers. So we were discussing. I said I wanted to have this training. So she said it's very easier. So the way she introduced the whole program was very interesting, even at first. So she sent me the link, but I couldn't join that time. So I was very busy. I met her in Adamawa. So it's later when I came back to Yobe that I decided to join, because I wanted to join, but I couldn't get the chance at first. So my expectation was to learn about GBV because I have interest in it. But from what I learned now is far beyond the GBV. So I learned a lot of things: the AI, the graphic designing, and what I have never heard about the GBV too. I learned it too. So I'm really grateful, and it was a very good what can I say? So what I learned is far beyond my expectation. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hello?
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much that we exceeded your expectation. Thank you so much. And one thing you mentioned is that it's beyond GBV. I'm happy you can get that flow. That is actually what we are trying to do. GBV is an opportunistic problem. It's not the main problem. You know, in HIV, we have an opportunistic infection that can come in when somebody has HIV. So the same thing like this one. So GBV is actually a manifestation of deep-rooted issues that are not being treated. Thank you so much. And we're happy for that. Who wants to go next?
Additionally, can I talk again? Hello? Hello?
Yes, you are free to talk. This is a graduation day. Feel free to talk.
Okay.
Now, I want to learn from you. You have learned from me. I want to learn from you. It's a feedback. So it's your day. I'm your students. I want to learn from your experiences and all that. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
So additionally, before this program, I have many initiatives I wanted to do. Okay, I have many, but I didn't know where to start or how to start it. But now I'm motivated. I'm very motivated. Even before joining this graduation session we are having, I'm busy trying to draft a letter for request for support, as we discussed yesterday. So I'm highly motivated, and that one too alone is a big lesson for me. Is something that needs its own certificate too. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So we actually repackage it. Hello, Gambo. We repackage the program.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you this story. You know, Nosma, they work with Plan International, right?
Yes.
Now our contract has ended. She's in
Yeah.
Maiduguri. What was she doing? She's a registered nurse, GBV specialist. Now she'll be waiting for when the contract will start again. So why she's waiting for contracts? Suppose in their own time we have this kind of fundraising. Then when the contract stops now, she will have something doing. So for your project, please carry her along. So give back to her. Tell her that, oh, Margaret, I want to do this program for baby and all that. Please carry her along. Do you get? Let her be your assistant.
Okay, no problem.
Get engaged. So later on, you can reach out to me if you need something about accounting in this kind of project. So if you raise 2 million naira, you account for your time and effort is legit. You are not stealing the money. If you raise 2 million naira, you pay yourself. So you can reach out to me again. I have a training on that, how businesses and NGO can pay for themselves legitimately. So you account for it. I'm a program organizer, I'm an initiator. I pay myself 200,000. It's legit. It's accountability.
So if
Whatever it
if you
is,
are doing that program, I think I will need to join.
I will invite you. You become our partner. We call it a financial accounting transparency, because in the NGO
Okay.
sector, corruption is very high, and I don't want anybody that passed through our training to have that kind of stain. I don't want to have any stain. Make your
So
accounting clear.
me and Margaret, I think we had the same contract, but I was able to get another one. But we did the same job in Adamawa.
Okay. So again, if your colleagues interested, tell them to join the next batch. But it's fine.
Oh,
I
now
actually,
people are interested though.
when they
If
see
you
you
see
in
how people
absence,
are talking to me about the certification, people are very interested, and I'm sending them the group link and the flyer.
no, the group link has expired. We started a new one. I didn't tell you. The new one, we are doing that. We
Okay.
don't do free again. Anybody that wants to join, you join from the start. You can pay
Mm,
15,000. After this graduation, I will share the link. You can tell them. Once they make the
okay.
payment, we have the WhatsApp group. It's 15,000 before the
Okay.
rate.
So,
And we are
so
starting next
thank
week.
you.
Thursday. All right. Thank you very much. Okay,
Mm.
let's take one. Barrister Angela is around, and the person who's going to read the citation, she's around too. Barrister Angela, you are welcome. Before you speak, let me make a co-host. Please pardon us tonight. So let's take 2 or 3 feedbacks. Then before we start that, vote of chance after your own presentation. So, Barrister Abby, you can give your feedback before you make your presentation on behalf of the whole class of this set. All right, let's keep the floor open. So let's go like 5 minutes or 2 minutes if you want. So, Barrister Angela, thank you for coming on board. Thank you so much for your time and for your passion. All right, so next one. Who wants to go next? How you get to know about the program, then your experience and all that. Let's know next one. So let's go. All right.
All right, let me go. My name is Ivy Enemark, Barrister Ivy Enemark. I got to know about the program through a friend. She sent me the flyer. So I actually got to know about it, I think, last month. And I was supposed to be part of the last cohort, but I couldn't because I was busy that period. So I couldn't join. So I sent Mr. Olusoji a message asking if I could join the next cohort, and he agreed. He said I could. So I joined the next cohort, and in fact, everything I learned in this whole training has been nothing short of insightful, inspiring, eye-opening. I don't want to talk too much, but I know that I've learned a whole lot. I've learned a lot that I didn't even know were part of GBV. I've learned about gender mainstreaming, especially because I never knew anything about gender mainstreaming. I got to know about that during this program. I also got to know about PSEA, that's the Protection from Sexual Exploitation and Abuse. And the fact that you taught about employability skills.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, the fact that you taught about employability skills too was a plus. Then the fundamentals of AI as well, they were very, very great learning experiences for me. So I'm actually very thrilled. I appreciate the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge, and I'm definitely going to tell more people about this training so that they can also get to learn about it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Ene. All right, who's going next? I've not seen a guy with gender balance. Pharmacist Max, where are you? Pharmacist Yakub, where are you? Monica. So let's take that one for the next 5 minutes. Then we have the presentation from our guest keynote speaker. She told me that, oh, I'm just a girl. I need to go. I said, no, you're a big madam. You are doing a great thing already. So you have to celebrate you. All right, who's going next? Do you have anybody else? All right, in the absence of anybody again who wants to go next, so I will invite Barrister Ivy to read the citation for our guest speaker. Then she will make a presentation. What she was talking about, I told her that she doesn't have to make it formal. Give us experience. That's experiential learning, learning by experience. And that's actually what I did for you guys. What the program itself is that experiential learning. It's not something that let me know now and go and learn later. No, I hold you by the hand and I led you there. So Google form, do it now and get it done. It's not something that, in school we cram and we go back and say, how do you understand this one? No, you don't do that. So tonight, what I'm going to learn from Barrister Angela is actually experiential learning. It's not bookish. You are going to learn from real life experiences. There was a story when the Barrister Ivy was arguing with me that, oh, the bastard should be punished. Why should we should report the person? I'll tell you, many things are happening. She's going to tell, I don't want to preempt her. She will give you cases. She has a lot of cases. Then there was a particular one that stood out. A girl of 12 or 13 was impregnated by her dad. And and she was pursuing a legal case that these guys should be prosecuted and all that. And they came back to him and said, don't do that, don't do that. They pressurize her. As of today, the man that impregnated his daughter is working scot-free. The baby is alive, the girl is alive. Very complicated. There was another case, a man, he drugged a lady, and after that had sex with her. After that, she shared the video and the images on social media. They got the bastard arrested. They are prosecuting the guy. Do you know the judge who apparently corrupted was saying that, oh, what about the care for the guy in prison, in detention? It was not talking about the survival-centric approach. So it shows that, and now in our last discussion, she was telling that they want to move the case from that jurisdiction of that judge because it's like the judge has a sympathy, whether monetized sympathies or I don't know, sympathy or not. They want to move that case from that jurisdiction. So sometimes pursuing the legal dimension is very hard, sometimes because there are powerful forces behind the perpetrators. So our greatest and best option, and again, I told her when she sent the message to me, I was like, look, from what you have said so far, we can say that any stepdaughter living with stepdaddy, even if the mother is there, she's likely and very, very vulnerable to sexual abuse. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite Barrister Ivy to read the citation, and thereafter we hear from her. It's going to be real life experiences like what we heard from Dr. Muhammad in his presentation about clinical management of rape. He was using real life experiences he has treated about rape cases. But you can go ahead and read the citation. I will share the citation on the WhatsApp group now. So you can go ahead and read it now. So thank you very much. You have.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to read the citation. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I read the citation in honor of Mrs. Angela Ofeh-Mamuzoh. Mrs. Angela Ofeh-Mamuzoh is a dedicated wife, mother of 5 wonderful children, and an accomplished legal practitioner with 18 years of experience, specializing in family law practice in Delta State, Nigeria. She is the principal partner at Ofeh-Mamuzoh Associates, a law firm known for its strong commitment to justice, particularly in cases involving abused individuals, many of which are handled pro bono. She served as the chairperson of the African Women Lawyers Association, Warri branch, from 2019 to 2022, and was the vice chairperson of FIDA, Warri, in 2023. Currently, she holds 2 national positions: the National Public Relations Officer of African Women Lawyers Association and the National Welfare Officer of the National Association of Family Court Judges, Magistrates, and other practitioners. Mrs. Ofeh-Mamuzoh is deeply committed to community service, especially in the areas of gender-based violence prevention and support. Alongside her team, she leads awareness campaigns aimed at educating women and children on how to identify, prevent, and recover from GBV. These sensitization efforts takes place in schools, churches, hospitals, marketplaces, and other community hubs. Beyond legal advocacy, she has taken direct action to change lives, rescuing children from the streets and enrolling them in school, sponsoring others to learn trades, and supporting widows by helping them start small businesses. Her work stands as a testament to her passion for justice, empowerment, and healing. On behalf of Afrocentric Masterclass Nigeria, we extend our heartfelt congratulations and present this citation as a mark of our deep appreciation and esteem to Mrs. Angela Ofeh-Mamuzoh. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Please clap. I want a clap emoji. This is online. You can unmute and clap. I don't know if you can clap now. Give her a clap emoji. Any sign you want to do here. Let me see that. Anyone? Let's see that. Thank you so much for that. That's brilliant. 18 years of practice. Legal practice is not a joke. All right. That's a great one. All right. I'm waiting. Drop in the comment box. I'm waiting for that. Okay, I can see that. All right. Okay, thank you very much. So, Barrister, are you ready? Today is your day. Me, I'm not lecturing again. Today is just that come and speak to us, inspire us. All right, you have the floor. All right, you have the floor.
Watching a movie, or rather listening to something. It was so massive. Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela, and I still maintain, okay, that's what they call me here in Warri, the neighborhood lawyer. My name is Angela. I'm a neighborhood lawyer, and I'm into family law practice, like you've already heard. Challenges we face. Let's start with mine. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, ma, we can hear you, ma.
Yes, we can hear you.
I don't skip it. It's something I share to be able to reach out to those that are hurting. Let's start with mine. I was actually sexually abused when I was 16 by a very close friend of my dad's, and everybody wanted it, but nobody could say anything about it. Let's act like it never happened. And I can admit it really destroyed me there, because my dad that loved me so much, my mom that gets me the world, could not do anything for me. All they were doing was we're trying to cover it up, about it. And I was like, this can't be right. This cannot be right. I was not just sexually abused. My head was broken because I was fighting with the person, and the person used a flower vase on my head. I was admitted into the hospital, NNPC hospital. I was there for 3 months. I was unconscious. And when I was gaining consciousness, they brought in the case of the pregnancy. My dad was asked to sign for the pregnancy to be removed, because they needed to concentrate on treating just one person, and they couldn't deal with the pregnancy and my recovery. Well, I didn't know. Nobody told me about it. Well, when I was in the university, some years later, I attended Madonna University. I just needed to be in a place where no one could reach me. And then all of a sudden, my name was mentioned from the public address system that I had a visitor. It had never happened. My dad don't visit, my mom don't visit. That was the way I wanted. And I went out to see the visitor. Lo and behold, it was the same man I was trying to forget. What was he asking for? He was screaming from the gate, I want my child. Give me my child. I want my child. I was so confused, and I collapsed. Woke up in the hospital, and then they started telling me the story. Oh, actually, you were pregnant. Without pregnancy, and so many things. And that was when I made up my mind. For the help that I couldn't get from my parents, I couldn't get from the society, I was doing it, and I took my education serious. I just wanted to pursue this law and do something about helping. Okay, now long before this.
Hello, Barrister Angela. I mean, can you focus your mouth on the mic so that we can hear you?
I'm so sorry. Okay,
No problem.
when
When you
okay,
move your head backward, you could not hear you clearly. All right, you can
okay,
still move it backward. Yes, you can move it backward, but you speak to the your phone. All right, sorry for interruption. All right.
no problem. So what
All right.
what my society couldn't do for me, what my parents couldn't do for me, I made up my mind to help other girls because it happens. It's just everybody wants to keep it quiet. You know, then they'll be like, there's a stigma that's going to grow up with you, and then no one is going to get married to you. Nobody's going to take you serious. Nobody's going to be there. Sincerely, in short, after university, my dad was practically chasing me out of the house because I didn't have any friends. And it was the first thing I told my husband when I met him. I've been sexually violated. So in case you want to read stigma, kini, you better start going now. He now told me, I will join you. Whatever you want to do, just tell me. I will join you. And that was how we started from our church. We started talking to the women, though they were hiding, but you know it's happening in the church. The children, you watch the way some girls will look at you, you know something is wrong. And I started telling my story. That was how I started getting people to talk. I told them my story, and then secretly they come to meet me. Auntie, this is what is happening. That was how I actually started before this 20 things. That was what I started doing. Okay, now after telling my story, I should go to most of the cases that we've handled. Let's talk about little Cindy. Little Cindy is a 5-year-old girl that the school contacted me and informed me that there's something about the girl. She was always sleeping in class and she never Go ahead. Okay. And when I got to the school, I took the child, I interviewed her. She said no one was touching her. And unlike children respond to me when I talk to them, they tell me actually what's wrong. But I was surprised little Cindy couldn't tell me what was wrong with her. I had to take her to the hospital. I called them. I informed FIDA. They joined me in the hospital. And then we did ran some tests on her. And we discovered that she was actually being molested through the vagina and through the anus. A 5-year-old girl sent for the dad. From the father, we learned that the mother of the child died during childbirth. So we informed the father, this is what was seen, we noticed about your child. And we've done all the tests, and we are sure she's been sexually abused through the vagina and through the anus. He wasn't surprised, he wasn't acting angry, and my senses were like, I need to check this guy. I went to his house, paid his wife a visit. He was married to someone else. He had 2 other kids, 2 boys. And we talked about this thing. Who are the people that lives in this house? It was just the wife and the father and the children. So where is this thing coming from? Later, we got to the office. We took the girl with us to the office. We didn't release her because we also told she had STD, some kind of STD. The man later came to my office, but did not enter into the office. It was just in the environment. By then, I already had police officers waiting because I knew the person will come trying to figure out where I came up from. We picked him up. After torturing him, he said it was his father. That means the grandfather of the child. He said it was his father because he knew while he was growing up, his father was sexually molesting his sisters. So he is sure it was his father. Okay, we picked the father up. And the father said he's very sure it's the son because the son has been molesting the neighborhood boys for some time and he has been settling. What do we do now? We have a father and a grandfather accusing each other of sexual molestation. We knew Warri was not going to be a proper place to take care of this case because First of all, they were Ijo guys, and they had connections, as in wealthy men. They had connections. So I had to liaise with the hospital, and we told them we're sending the girl for a special treatment in Port Harcourt. We took them there. We alerted the police there. We alerted FIDA there, and they were all waiting for us. Immediately we got there, we arrested those guys. My fellow colleagues, the father was molesting the child through the anus, and the grandfather through the vagina. Now, how is it possible that this little child did not know? The grandfather went to visit his son and saw his son injecting the 5-year-old girl and molesting her. The grandfather went into the room, picked that particular injection, went to the pharmacy to get his own, and told his son, send your daughter over for weekend. And he did the same thing to her. And this thing was going on for a number of weeks before the school took note of it. I'm talking about a 5-year-old girl that could not pull for 2 weeks. The doctor had to use a plunger. I'm sure there are medical personnel here. He had to use a plunger to pull from the girl's system. A 5-year-old child. After a while, his wife came to see us and told us that the little boy, the 3-year-old boy, is experiencing the same thing, that she is very sure it is her husband. Have you seen him? Yes. Have you said anything about it? No. Reason, I don't want to destroy my marriage. A mother sat still and watched her children, both biological and not biological children, being molested by her husband. But she stayed still because she did not want to destroy her marriage. That's one case. The one our boss was talking about, let me call him our boss. She was very bright in school, Naomi. Naomi was very bright in school. WAEC, she scored the highest. And she came to me with a sniper. She was about killing herself. And she told me, my father has been sleeping every night and my mom will not believe. While I was looking at her, there was something about her. I took her to the hospital. We checked, she was pregnant, 7 months gone, and she was not even aware. The doctor just told me there and there, this child is going to have complications. The pregnancy is progressing, her pelvis, her body is not registering the pregnancy. What do we do? She will have to go through CS. Okay, forgive me, naturally what we do in cases where we have the father or the brother impregnating a bloodline, we terminate the pregnancy. But we couldn't in this case. There was no way we could induce that little girl to have that child when her pelvic was not developing pregnancy. It would kill her. And there was no way we could take that little child into the theater to have CS just to take out a child for the child not to survive. It was just too risky. We had to leave her till full time. She had the baby. The mother, in short, the mother is another case. We got this man arrested. We're ready to go on with it. She came with youths. If you guys know about Warri, you will understand what I'm talking about. She came with queer youths to my office. I should let her husband go. Who will take care of the remaining kids? They will sort it out. She has forgiven him. Brought in their pastor. Pastor said there's something traditional they need to do. And the man is from Orogun. There's something they don't do one traditional, one thing is going to die. So many things. I was forced to do everything. Did you know that girl still came back to me? Because the father continued molesting her. And this one now is nothing is going to hide because his wife is fully aware. But she wants to preserve a marriage, and she also wants the man to keep training her children, so she cannot allow the law take its course against the husband. Reason, she is not independent. She is not working. She prefers to sit at home and stay for a man to take care of her. Putting the life of that little girl and the other children at great risk. There's a mental issue that comes with this. Okay, Let me tell you about a child I met during the pandemic. She attends my daughter's school. My daughter was talking about me to them, and she said, I want to. She called me. She said, come and pick me from my house. Her father was using her for prostitution. Father started with her. After 2 days, his friends were coming in to sleep with her. For 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira, they will pay him to sleep with the daughter. We had to take that girl from. We were able to prosecute this man because the wife, in short, they were not together. They were no longer together. So the woman was like, you can go ahead and do whatever it is you want to do. You notice the women, they are protecting these men from being punished by the law. And it's what as a child, and it took me time to forgive my dad. It took me time, not because he was the one that did what happened, but because it was his friend, and he couldn't do anything about it. There was nothing. He just said, let's hush it up. Now imagine, now it's the father doing this to a child. What? It's the women, seriously. The challenges we're having, it's the women, the wives and the mothers. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut it short. The cases are too much, but I'll tell you about one. They are twin. That's just the children they have, a boy and a girl here in Warri. And the boy was meant to go outing with his friends and took what's this drug these children take these days? He took a drug, and all of a sudden he couldn't go. I don't know what happened. The father stopped him from going out that night. When that drug started working on him, he took it out on his sister. He beat the sister up and molested her. The parents were in the house. And the only excuse the parents could give was they were always fighting. So they just felt it was one of the normal fights. By the time the parents got to the room, when everywhere was calm, they saw the boy covered with sweat, naked, the girl on the floor, lifeless. He beat her up so bad and raped her. He didn't even know what he was doing. Okay, now they called me, we called the police. What was the mother saying? I cannot lose 2 children. The father, like, I don't have a child anymore, go with him. The mother stood at the door. He will go nowhere. He's the only child we have left. Emotion. Overpowering justice, which is very wrong. It's painful, but the law has to take its course. If not, every other person will be like, oh, after all, I got away with it, let's try it. Now, the other case our boss was talking about was of a very responsible woman, working class lady. Someone just got into her office and used this jazz skinny thing, gave her a drug to take, and that was it. Tied her up and molested her, both in the office and in a matrimonial home. Okay, fine. When she was recovering, now he did it for 3 days. When she was recovering, she noticed something was wrong, and she rushed to the police and talked to the police. They said they sent for me. For us to be sure, let's take you out for them. And we discovered that the drugs were still in her system. We're even waiting for her to regain her memory because she didn't even know what took place. Did you know that it was the videos we were showing to her after we recovered that guy, because we had to track his phone using the number he used in calling her. We were able to get him in another town, like very far away from Warri. It was a video we showed to her that she even got to know what happened to her. She has no recollection whatsoever of what happens to her those 3. Okay, now, cancel, Ivy. You understand very well that criminal cases, we have 14 days, and the guy will be remanded while we are pursuing our investigation. 14 days given to us got expired. And the judge was like, he needed to release the defendant. We asked for extra 14 days, and he kept saying so many things. He needs to know if he's faring well. It was the care, the concern for the defendant was alarming. Even I made a comment about from Abuja, it should be released. I don't want to know. We had to apply for a transfer. Well, fine. We were able to leave that guy still remanded for an extra 14 days. It's coming up on the 2nd of June, and I've been giving updates to our boss, and it's not looking nice. Now, what justice? She's scared. If that man is released, he knows where she works. He knows her to her house. And she has young children in that house. What happened? What happened? Why it's difficult to prove rape? But the evidence is all there. His phone, the pictures, the videos, everything. They're all in his phone. The phone already placed in the station as an evidence, whatever it is. But you see the reaction of a judge. What if it were his mother? No, mother is even too far. What if it were his own wife? And as we're speaking, the husband of this lady doesn't even want to know. He doesn't care.
I didn't get that part. What happened to the husband? What was the reaction of the husband?
Filed for divorce.
Ah.
So you can imagine it wasn't her fault. That even puts him into the suspect list, sir. It puts him into the suspect list. What if it's all a planned attempt to useless this woman? And guess what? The case was filed in the same court. The divorce is coming up in the same court where we are having the criminal case the same day.
So the guy did that one to just set her up so that he can use that one as a grant for that divorce.
That's actually our thought. So when we talk about challenges, it's much. First of all, the survivors don't have enough support mentally, emotionally, and Nigeria doesn't really have that much counseling team going around counseling these children. What I do, I have a team, though I pick them from Christ Embassy. The pastors, I'm not a member of Christ Embassy though, but I go to churches, I talk to youths. So I know people that are capable of talking to someone else, encouraging them, building them up and all that. So I got some really wonderful youth. And when they cancel to the, I love those guys. No matter where they are, what time it is, I call them, they are moving. They have that passion. And I don't know, most challenges we're having, first of all, for these persons to speak out. Most of them don't want to speak out. Either they are scared, someone is threatening them. There was one, okay, but most of the threats are real. I had a JS1 girl that was molested by a neighbor. She was just coming back from school. He told her that his 300 naira fell behind the bed and his hand is too big to pick it up. So she should come in and pick it up. Naturally, that child would have said, but you can pull the bed from the wall and pick your money. But she wasn't really sure. I don't know. The little girl went in and he locked the door and molested her. And told her that she shouldn't tell anybody. The day she tells someone, she was going to die. When I heard it, because I've treated so many cases where these girls, the minute they call the person's name, they start rotting or they die. That one now is not even, the law cannot help us. We have so many cases. The law cannot help us. Some just start bleeding from nowhere and they die. Okay, fine. We are relating most of those cases to these are wonderful men, young men with their new business. For this particular girl, the police, before I got it, I told the police, hold on. But they kept forcing the girl to say something. When I got there, the girl was already an imbecile. Till today. That little girl is an imbecile. Today.
What made her? Was it the experience?
No, immediately she called the person's name out.
That one I juju.
Understand?
That one I juju.
Yeah, but
And
the law,
Juju is not recognized in the law.
that's the problem. That's one of the challenges I'm talking about. And do you know that guy was released? She became an imbecile. She could no longer testify. Even when we were telling the judge it happened in our presence, there is no law. There is no law anywhere that the judges can hold on to as a precedent to sentence that guy. He was released.
It's complicated. So prevention is better now anyway. So Barrister Angela, I think you can wrap up in 2 minutes. Then we can now give room to Barrister Ivy. We moderate the session. So we can, anybody who has to ask questions, you can do that anyway. Let's give floor to the lawyers today. You have adjusted the program to us. So, and we can look at African solution now. Look at it now. When I was talking that we have a session like that, Barrister Ivy was telling me, but this guy has to be punished. I said there is an African side to it, which is not recognized in Western civilization. In their own case, if somebody reports you in Nigeria, you can use juju to find the person, even without seeing the person physically. Look at what she said now. A girl who was raped confessed, mentioned the person's name, and because she mentioned that, and what happened? She became an imbecile. So it means that this man can continue the same acts. Say, if you talk, look at that girl. You see what she has become? Used to become like that. So this is what we are talking about. So we have to use African solution for African problem. And that's what I was saying, that I was more interested in what we do next. Let's look at preventive strategies and all that. So the floor is open. Barrister Ivy, please moderate this session. I want to see. I love your citation, was a good one. You actually did a good job for that citation. All right, so let's take questions anyway. Anybody? And thank you very much, Barrister Angela. Before this time around, the demographic of our class participant has been Northerners. And the United Nations actually specially fund GBV cases in emergency zones in Northeast Nigeria. They don't count our issues down south as very important. But now you are telling us that this is important, and I have many Northerners in this training as well who are listening from you firsthand. So the floor is open. You can wrap up now in 2 minutes. Then let's give floor open for questions. You can ask questions directly to our keynote speaker. Thank you so much. Of course, we are going to come back again for another batch. All right, thank you very much. You cannot offer everything tonight. All right. Okay, we can wrap up then.
I would want to know, because everybody is here to learn. Everybody, single person is here to learn. If there is a solution, maybe one of you know that I am not aware of, there is a way we can tackle most of these things that can help us. If there's a law, Barrister Ivy, that you've come across, maybe a precedent, a case that came up and it was successful, please, I would like to know, because I have so many persons that need help down here. Thank you very much.
So over to you.
Yes, actually, I don't think there's any law at all that supports this particular issue of juju or charm being used. There's no law. I've not heard of any, because it's already stated in the law that the law does not support that the law does not recognize anything that has to do with charm and all of that. But I personally think that because it's an African thing, because this idea of juju and charm is alien to the Western, that's the Eurocentric people, the Western people. It's Africanized. It's something that we are aware of. So I feel like we should include it in our law, because it's something that usually happens. Although I have never experienced it personally. In all honesty, I don't even believe in it. But you saying this, that happened in your presence, you saw that it actually happened and this girl became an imbecile, then that means it actually exists. You understand? And I've heard a lot of people talking about it existing and, causing a lot of harm. But I have never experienced it, so I cannot really speak to its effectiveness. You understand? So, but I don't think there's any law. There's no law. I've not come across any law that talks about, this particular thing. So I don't know.
Maybe like from the house, how we can tackle most of these things, maybe strategies we can take that will lead us back to the law to get these guys punished.
All right, the floor is open. This is your graduation. This is the last part, and everything we'll be talking about, this is a real life issue. We are dealing with the issue of life and death. In this phase, we have heard about more than 5 case studies anyway. A twin boy and girl. What happened again? My question is this. A twin boy raped his twin sister. What happened eventually? Did the boy, was it punished or sent to jail?
Yes, it was. It was sent to this juvenile center.
But it should be life imprisonment for...
He wasn't an adult. He was a minor.
How old? So a minor that kills now cannot be sentenced to life imprisonment. Law is complicated. Law is actually complicated. Anyways, all right. So anybody want to make question or contribution, please, the floor is open. Nurse Gambo, well, this is very technical time anyway, but just share your experience or idea. And Pharmacist Solomon, Pharmacist Jacob. All right.
Okay. On this point, I don't know where it happens, but if it's in the Northeast here, I think this person that is using juju can be handled by the community leaders, because most of the community leaders knows the people they are living with, the people in the community, and if he's really using the juju, they will know, or they will know the person that is stronger than him. So the community leader can, as in, how can I put the word? So he can contribute in maybe stopping him or threatening him too, because he may have, they may have stronger people among that community that that man is afraid of. So that is my suggestion for this.
I like it. I go with that. Your solution. African problem for African solution. You see, somebody get juju pass juju. That's what she said. So in that case, that means when case like this happens, we have to mobilize the community elder, traditional rulers. So we're now scared, this person is doing this, and she did it. They will now call him again. You that used to turn the girl to imbecile, they can ask him again, say, go and give her the solution that will turn her back to the right person. You see now? And that's actually our approach at Afrocentric, like look for local solutions. So there was a case we shared of a guy who molested a lot of people on the PSEA, and I was suggesting that he's supposed to have been reported to local people in the community. So sometimes, and again, it speaks to not only lawyers, to all of us in this space, that sometimes we forget our own Africanness and focus more on litigation, which is Western, and that litigation doesn't cover every aspect. And I love what Nurse Gambo said. That's very correct. Me, I'm a Yoruba boy, a Yoruba man. I grew up seeing these traditional babalawo in movies. One of them be chanting the chants. And I would say, oh, stop there. I understand that. So it's a simple logic. So you are using African solution to solve Africa's problem. So like this one, I think going forward, what we can do as specialists is that when a white man says this is the way to go, we say, we have heard you. When a case comes up like this, do we involve traditional rulers? I know in Delta State, in Edo State, they can command the rain to stop. I know it. That somebody told me in Edo State, they went for a burial, a guy was lying in a coffin. Do you know what? She was telling me they commanded the spirit of the man to get up from the coffin. The guy stood up and they asked him, who killed you? He now mentioned, he now went back. He didn't come back to life. He spoke and went back dead. And again, in my other job, again, I work on migration space. We try to stop some people who are traveling by road to Europe. You know, this to be a white man, they come to Nigeria, they give us some dollars. go and talk to Nigerian boys, especially Edo and Lagos guys, that they should not travel to Libya by road. So we are talking to this Libyan focused guy who want to jackpot to Italy. Of course, from Lagos, get to Kano, from Kano to Niger, from Niger, you get to Libya. And after Libya, you cross the Mediterranean, you are in Libya, you are in Italy. So when we talk to these guys, we now got to know that before each of them leave those states, and some of them are in Warri as well, they consult the oracle to tell them if they will succeed in crossing or not. They will tell them. And we have cases that some of them that died in desert, after they died, they will invoke the spirit and say, come here. Who killed you on the road? So, but a white man doesn't recognize all these things. Then when you tell a man, say, desert trip is very hard, you can die. He said, don't worry, all die and I die. I've consulted my spiritualist. He said, I will not die. So how can we, with our own Eurocentric persuasion, guy, don't enter road is rough. They won't listen because the spiritual man has told them already that they will succeed and cross to Italy. And they will go. And some of them get trapped against what the prediction they told them. And so even some of them will tell us that they go to Celestial Church in Edo State and tell them that once you get to desert, you will cross. If everybody they die, you know go die. And they give them biblical verses. 1,000 by your left, by your right, you will not die. And they go. So this is actually leading us to, I was having a conversation with Barrister Ivy. She never knew that we also in Afrocentric, we are planning a conference on GBV, looking at either ending of June or early in July. We are planning already. She was telling me that she's thinking of having a conference. And for this, what Barrister Angela said, we are let's domesticate the intervention strategy. That's what we're going to do. All right. Do we have another contribution? Because I know it's late already and it's weekend. Our kids are not going to school tomorrow. So anyway, so now, do you have any other contribution or do you have a specific question to the keynote speaker? If you don't have it, well, in keynote speaking, we don't actually ask questions. It's not a conference. The person is going to share experience with us, and after presentation, that is all. But again, we give you the opportunity to do that. If you have, you can give. Otherwise, we ask Barrister Ivy, who is appointed or self-appointed, the governor of Okay, that should be a mistake. All right. So if there is no other contribution, do you have any contribution or question to make?
Okay, I want to say, hello?
Okay,
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say that there's this law on in the Criminal Code Act, section 21210, that's 210, which talks about witchcraft and related offenses. And I just want to read what it says. It says that any person who, by his statements or actions, represents himself to be a witch or to have the power of witchcraft, accuses or threatens to accuse any person of being a witch or having the power of witchcraft, and C, makes or uses any charm or juju or any object in a manner likely to cause fear or harm, is guilty of misdemeanor and liable to imprisonment for 2 years. So this particular section now is saying that it's actually recognizing juju and witchcraft. So why are offenders not punished under this law? I'm actually directing the question to Barrister Angela. Yeah.
Because first of all, the person in question needs to come out to say by himself, I am a witch, and these are my powers. But you don't see them coming to say I'm a witch or I used stuff.
Yeah.
On you. Don't say that. You'll be the one to prove them to be the witch. But I don't know. I know Western law has something on hallucination.
Yes.
That's what we call witchcraft or being induced, whatever it is here. But theirs is hallucination. There's something they do and the person gets I don't know, and then they do whatever it is, hypnotized. But we don't have anything covering.
Okay, but based on, okay, sorry to cut you short. Based on the one you witnessed, you know, in Evidence Act we have witness statements. So in the situation you witnessed, is it not? Can't you can also, you're a witness to what happened. So can't you actually, you know, say that yeah, you witnessed this happening?
They brought in a medical specialist that came to tell the court that something like that can happen due to various medical reasons.
Hmm.
You understand? You know, these
Yeah.
guys, they don't work alone. These guys are
True.
backed up powerful men. They don't work alone. A doctor actually came in to say something, give us some papers and the rest. The court entered it as evidence.
Hmm. Wow. It's really going to be hard to prosecute issues like this, honestly. It's really going to be hard.
Need professional psychologists, need like the family court now is having counselors and psychologists now that work with children, but it is not place yet in Delta State. We have lots of that in Port Harcourt. But most of the time, when I'm seeing that my hands are going to be too tied in Delta State, I move the case to Port Harcourt.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been kidnapped twice because of these cases I handle.
Wow.
Most me to my home or to my children. I walk past my children on the street, and I'm not on any wedding band. Nobody knows I'm even married. I don't, because I'm trying to protect my family as much as I can. They don't walk alone. Don't.
Madam, they don't kidnap you. How do you survive?
Wow.
So twice. Even the second one was with pregnancy.
Wow.
They'll tell me to case. It's always about a case, and there's no other. I'm not doing land matter. There's no other case I'm doing apart from a particular maybe molestation, harassment. You know, all those stuff. That's what I do.
Wow. You know.
I'm so sorry. There was one that the files physically, like in front of you, your document, your files, they all disappeared. As in, they all left my table. You can imagine how hysterical I was. I screamed, running.
Is that juju? Wait, madam. Is
Obviously juju now. That's juju. That's juju.
that
from my house for a week. I locked up indoor and called my pastor. You can imagine. So it's scary most times.
No, wait. You five disappear on your table live.
Documents. They were on my table. I was working on them. All of a sudden, there was nothing on my table. And I was still sitting down.
Oh, the blood of Jesus is with you.
Mr. Olusoji, you know?
Yes.
Mr. Olusoji, you know that case I talked about on the first day we had our training. You know, somebody actually warned me against going ahead in arresting the boy, that's the brother of the girl, because they said that their place where they are from, they do a lot of juju. And if they know that I'm the one handling this case, they are going to get me. They will find a way to get me and something will happen to me. So they actually warned me. This was even a lawyer. It was a lawyer that warned me not to go ahead with it.
You see that? But wait, Barrister Ivy. Did I tell you about your safety and security? Did I tell you about that?
No.
I told you about your security and safety.
Okay, yes, you did. You taught us that, definitely.
Security and safety. I said that. So
Yeah.
you don't say every case you go choke your head.
Yes.
So you look at if they are, say leave them alone. Because the government itself, they are part of the process. And you know, some of these rich men, because I cannot understand raping a 5-year-old girl. What is that? In our society, we say, she get front and back. What if 5-year-old girl won't get for body that will make you sexually aroused? I cannot understand. It's madness. Because we guys, it's juju now. They use it for juju. Because I cannot rationalize it. Because you see somebody, nothing in front, nothing. What can make me to be attracted to a baby who has nothing? I don't know. It's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And in my own study, I'm writing academic paper on that actually. I'm looking at this difference between GBV manifestation in Africa and Western world. Because I want to see in the white spaces, are they having these kind of cases? When a man will be raising 5 years old girl, stepdad will be raising, molesting their stepdaughters. I want to see, is it an African thing? But for what I've been collecting so far, no academic evidence has been established, is that in Africa, Black Africans, Black Americans overseas, they have mixed marriages, stepdaughter and stepboy. This kind of marriage setup is not very common among the white folks, and though not yet substantiated. So I want to find empirical evidence to establish that okay, this is actually a white man, a black man's problem, raping and molesting. Because what I've seen that is not very common in white man's country. Because I don't know, because sometimes in the right senses, a 5 years old girl, I've never heard of that. We had a case like that in one of these batches, like maybe batch 5. A 3-month-old girl was actually sexually assaulted by uncle, a brother of the husband. So now when it happened, 3 years old girl, 3 months old. So it now happened that the father was now telling his wife, I don't want my brother to be prosecuted. They now said the guy was mentally insane. And under the law, you cannot prosecute somebody who's not mentally stable. So but the woman say, this is so they buried the kid, 3 years old. At 3 months, a baby. What is that? This is madness. I don't know. And the husband, who happened to be the senior brother of the boy, who molested his daughter, was not defending his brother against his own biological daughter. So it's a very complicated space anyway. And I believe that by the time we come up with the conference, we are going to see how we can actually put this thing out there, people get to know. And again, going forward, I think we need to have more psychologists or counselors in schools and spread the awareness and all that. Awareness is our best solution anyway. And at the same time, we keep on prosecuting as much as we can do. But what I know is that a potential perpetrator will not stop you from carrying out your awareness campaign. They won't harm you for that. They can only target you when you are trying to get them punished. That's my understanding. And you mentioned the case of a principal in the school that, is it a primary school or secondary school, that you want to go there and talk, and the man said, no. And you said, well, if you don't allow me, I will report you. Maybe you're hiding something. Your mic is muted. Your mic, okay, yes.
Pastor,
maybe your mic is muted. Is a pastor? Okay, yes.
Pastor, and it was like, this school, nothing, we don't have such happening in the school, and he just refused. Though we even sent a letter 2 weeks ahead, and we told him the days we were visiting. He still refused, locked his gate. We had to tell him, we're going to get the police to come in here. You'll be arrested if you don't allow us to do our job. And he opened the gates. We went in. We didn't even spend up to 15 minutes. He came and told us, no, it's enough. We have to go for lectures and all that. Before we packed our public address system and our stuff to leave, we started receiving calls. We had lots of cases. Teachers, family members, neighbors, even up to gatesman.
That's serious. So, well, since nobody has a question anyway, I'm just curious. In your case, when the man came back to Madonna University and came again to say, I'm looking for my baby, was he now prosecuted? That time he must be a law student. Did you take any action to get him prosecuted? Yeah.
The dean of our school, of my department of law.
Is it the owner of the school is the Reverend Father, right? Madonna, if I'm right.
Yes.
So what happened? Then what action was taken to just get him stopped all this harassment?
Okay. First of all, right there and there, he was arrested. They have their guard room in the school, so he was locked up in the school's guard room by the security officers. And then
correct.
The dean of law faculty, then Ansom Jerry, that's what we call him. He took particular interest because he already said it, that there was something about me. I wasn't just interested in anything. I don't talk to anyone. So when he saw what happened, he said one of his students, okay, he needs to know, this lady, she doesn't talk to anyone. Problem. It took me time, but I had to open up to someone. When something is deep down in you and it's eating you up. So I told them, I said, this is what happened, but I don't have any idea about a child. Until they called my dad. My dad had to come drive all the way to Anambra State and now had a meeting with the dean and some reverend sisters, told them everything, brought the files, and then we knew about the child. Okay, why is he even coming out now? He said he lost his only child. And his wife told him while I was in the hospital, because the wife was so pained. She was with me throughout the process I was in the hospital. I didn't even know she was there, but my dad told me she was there. She knew about the pregnancy. She knew my dad signed to take the pregnancy out. So
How was the pregnancy? How many months?
It was 3 months. It was 3 months or there. It was finally terminated. I was induced.
Okay, so if I get you right, the man actually wants the pregnancy to be kept. Is that was his intention?
He lost his child. That it came years later, like maybe.
No, I mean, when it happened, what was his position that time?
He didn't know. He was not in the.
Okay, he was not in the know. Okay.
No. Like he later found out when his son died, his only child died, and the woman was leaving the marriage. Maybe she now said out of anger, she now said something about the pregnancy. So he came to collect his child. The child I don't even know anything about from me. It was
so
really
even well, so wait, thank you very much for that. Barrister Ivy, do you hear what I said now? Do you see law of karma there? Barrister Ivy.
Yes, I'm here. I'm hearing you.
Do you see law of karma in this story now?
Yes. I'm sorry.
No,
yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, yesterday I was talking about a man who was molesting girls, and somebody was, I want to fight. Say, leave the man. Law of karma will catch up with him. Now look at this storyline. His only son, he lost it. He lost him. It's law of karma. I was telling you yesterday, you are like, oh, we have to punish. Huh?
I said that's true. You're right.
Look at this storyline. Look at the start point and end point. The only son he has. He believed that he has done it, it was over. He never knew that what he did actually led to pregnancy. But someone else said, do you know there was a pregnancy to that? Yeah, go and catch it. Okay, so everything has its own repercussion. Just like, oh, I want to fight. That's why I said that in this case, again, when somebody stops you from punishing the offender, don't worry, don't let it be. Because your safety and security matters so much. We want to keep you alive, all right? Even though policemen will go to that extent, even the judges. When somebody tells them that, because I know for sure that judges and lawyers, they go to court with juju in their body. They will just talk to judge, say, Judge, approve my case. so that's why if I'm fighting for these people, actually, please prioritize your own security and safety. But like this case now is very clear. Karma is natural. Is natural. That's what is sown is what he reaped. So that's it. But thank God that you recovered anyway. And we have a case like that, a psychologist, which was close to the one you mentioned of this lady who was hypnotized. A psychologist was raped severally by 7 men, gang raped in Borno State, I don't know, or Yobe State. But she survived it. Because she's a psychologist already, you know, there is a post-traumatic disorder. She survived it. Series of, sessions, operations, they have to fix that, a lot of injuries, that they have to carry out operation on that. But again, I understand that there is a karma somewhere, which is greater than the legal system, even if it is corrupted. So the head of my only admonition for those who are graduating today is that please, as much as possible, want to prosecute and all that, please, when you see that your life, your security of your loved one is being threatened and all that, please just back off. Leave it to God. Leave it to karma.
Recover.
Recovery. That's what I was talking about, a survival-centric approach. And you know, one thing that Barrister Ivy was sharing with me that in the class that she wants to share, establish a what's it called, shelter. What's it called? What's the vision of that? You like to share something like that? Wrap up on that, Barrister Ivy.
Yes, sorry, I'm here. I'm a bit distracted, but I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, you're talking about a shelter for survival. What exactly do you mean? Then thereafter, you can give a vote of thanks.
Okay,
good.
okay, it's the NGO that I'm trying to run. So it's on domestic abuse against women and girls. So what it's about is basically our vision is to create a shelter for those girls and women that do not have where to go to when they are being abused. You know, some women say they remain in their husband's house if the husband is the one abusing them, or some girls say they remain in their parents' house if the father is the one abusing them or their sibling because they don't have where to go to. So we are looking to create a shelter, a place, a safe haven for those abused women and girls, so that whenever they have issues like this, whenever they are abused, they can have where to go to and stay in the meantime until either the issue is resolved or they find something else to do or somewhere else to go to. So that's the vision for the NGO.
Don't worry. We work with you, we work together, and if you have ideas, share with us, share with Barrister. We are here for you. All right, thank you very much. Can give a bit of thanks and let's wrap it up. This is one of the best graduation program we have had so far. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Angela, our coordinator tonight. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to use this opportunity to, on behalf of myself and all the participants of this Afrocentric Masterclass, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to the convener, especially of Afrocentric Masterclass, Mr. Olusoji Ajao, for his visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to addressing gender-based violence through this transformative 12-hour intensive training and online experience. To all our wonderful trainers, we want to especially thank you for the depth of knowledge, compassion, and practical insights you brought into this session or brought to each session. Your dedication has equipped us with the tools, language, and courage to be better advocates, allies, and agents of change. As we move forward, we carry not just what we have learned, but also the responsibility to act. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a renewed commitment to justice, equity, and safety for all. Thank you once again. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you again. This is a TED Talk. I can see you are going for TED Talk very soon. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you especially because they are on a very less than 24 hours. I told you that you are going to coordinate and do this and do that. And you actually did an excellent job as if you were practicing for over a week. Thank you so much. So for the conference, that's the next step. Barrister Ajana, I'm going to invite you to join the WhatsApp group for 3 of us, myself, you, and Barrister Ivy. We want to run a conference on GBV. I hope you'd like to join us so we can have this kind of experience. What can we do? What next? What strategies can we use? What African solution can we use? Prevention, training the counselors, how do we cater for the survivors and all that? These are things we want to do in the conference. And we're going to make it an hybrid, which means that people can join virtually and they can come in physical spaces, whether in Abuja or in Lagos. That's what we're looking at. So we can I'm not trying to white persons to come and tell us in their own what is the feeling of GBV in America, in Europe, what is the experience? Is it African thing? This kind of issue like this. The one you mentioned that 5 years old girl. For me, I don't know what is going on. All right, thank you very much once again, everybody. Thank you. Have a good night. So, Barrister Angela, we are supposed to invite you again, right? So keep us in mind. All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Our regards to your husband for giving the chance to actually do this anyway. For men, they don't like it. Because, don't expose yourself. Don't expose my family. You don't like something like this. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Very much. I'm grateful.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Barrister Angela. Thank you, Mr. Olusoji.
Thank you. Good night. Then you receive the PDF version of your certificates on Monday. We're going to release the PDF version after the JPEG version tonight. So you receive the PDF on Monday. All right. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. It was a nice event.